Welcome to Is Your Way in Your Way podcast, where your host, Cassandra Crawley Mayo, helps you break free from obstacles and live life on your terms. Get ready to embark on a journey of self-discovery, empowerment, and inspiration. Tune in as we dive into captivating conversations with experts and explore topics that will ignite your passion and drive. Are you ready to unlock your full potential? Let's dive in.
Good day out there to all of my listeners, and I'd like to welcome you to Is Your Way in Your Way podcast. And I am your host, and my name is Cassandra Crawley Mayo. And for some of those new listeners out there, the name of my book is Your Way in Your Way. So you can really remember the podcast name and the book. Well, I would like to, I'm going to do something a little different. This podcast is for women that's ready to stop self-sabotaging, or I'm going to say to mitigate those limiting beliefs that's preventing you from living your best life on your terms. So what I'm doing is start living the life as God has called you to live. And also today is a soul shifting conversation with Sandy Joy Weston. And when you get to meet her, you're wondering, is Joy really her middle name? Because she brings so much joy. I think that's fascinating. She is an internationally celebrated podcaster, mindset reset coach, and a wellness pioneer. Now, if you've ever felt blocked by your own routines or limited by beliefs you carry, this episode is going to spark something in you. We talk about joy as a discipline, how to reset your headspace daily, and what happens when you stop being in your own way. And we talk about topics related to self-improvement, self-development. It also enables you to do a little self-reflection as well. And I'm not always prayerful that something will be said or done or something that's going to give you an aha moment, and you will start becoming unstuck and say, you know what, I have a made up mind. I'm going to do what I've always wanted to do. If it's writing a book, if it's being an entrepreneur, getting out of toxic relationship, forgiving somebody, whatever. So I certainly believe this is the one for you. Okay, so I'm going to bring on our guest. And her name is Sandy Joy Weston. Hey, Sandy.
Hello, Cassandra. Thank you for that intro. I love it.
Absolutely, girl. I am just super excited to tell my listeners I have studied, I say, Sandy, to prepare myself for this interview today. And boy, her energy, my goodness, it just penetrates through the screen. So if you're having a down day, I think she's going to spruce you up today. And so I am really, really looking forward to this. And also, we're going to dig into how positivity is more than a vibe. It is a practice, right? Oh, what I'm going to do, as many of my listeners know, I'm going to read her bio so that you can get a point of reference of what qualifies Sandy to do the work that she does. She is a powerhouse of positivity, a keynote speaker, international podcaster, 3-time author, and a trailblazing entrepreneur who's been transforming lives through health, wellness, and mindset for over 30 years. From becoming the first female trainer for the Philadelphia Flyers and also Eagles and a 76ers dance team to leading national wellness movements. Sandy's mission is clear: to shift the world's energy one joyful moment at a time. Through her global platform, SJW Productions, Sandy Joy Weston, and podcasts like Let's Keep It Real and Positive Power Lady, she uplifts others with tools for resetting the mind, celebrating the body, and embracing life with a purpose and a power. Wow. Hey, Sandy. Hey, listen, how did your early experience shape your health and wellness philosophy? What was going on in those earlier days for you and that backstory?
Oof. Let me take you back, Cassandra. Let me take you back.
All right.
So, my entire life, I've always believed that there was something bigger than me watching out for me. My entire life. Like, I was born coming in like, yeah, I may not have it going on right now, but don't worry. Loving me and it's going to look out for me. I always felt, no matter how bad for things were, I always had this feeling like, yeah, I'm good. Like if I'd gotten a dispute, an argument, or broke up with a boyfriend, whatever, I was sad, but like, I got something loving me. I'm good. I had this feeling always. I don't know why. I just had this feeling. And I also felt I had these 5 angels watching out for me since a kid. And I was like, I don't know why you're worried about me. I got 5 angels, and they laugh a lot.
Oh.
It got to the point that even, Cassandra, people would ask to borrow my angels. Yeah, Weston, can I borrow the angel?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know why I felt that way, but as long as I can remember, I felt that way. And I grew up in the projects, and that was rough. But the tougher part was my mom spent a lot of her life in mental institutions.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have a strong foundation at home. And I also didn't get a lot of support from the school systems because they didn't give me that much time.
Oh, okay.
They were thinking, listen, be grateful to graduate high school. That'll be great. And I wanted bigger things.
Mm-hmm.
There was so much turmoil going on in my house, and my dad, a good man, but really couldn't stand up to my mom. And I mean, she was battling a lot of demons.
Yeah.
I understand they just didn't know what to do with my family. But because of me and my belief in God, who I call Neil, me and God, we're on a first term basis, Neil, and my 5 years, I just had this feeling I was going to be okay. And I was fortunate enough that I had 5 young people in the projects. They were teenagers older than me. I moved to the projects when I was 9. That looked out for me. I mean, they were into all kinds of things, but they had hope in me. They wouldn't let me do it. They wouldn't let me drink. They didn't want me to be a prostitute. They didn't let me even swear. I mean, they were like, listen, we're counting on you to get out of here. It was great. And then my dance teacher, I was fortunate enough, my uncle paid for my dance lessons, and that's what kept me going, my dance. I was very, very fortunate that I got a scholarship for dance because of financial need. And that helped me out of the projects. So my way of living and my whole belief about joy being my competitive edge is because I saw what it did for me since I was very little when things were not that great. And I could see beyond what was right in front of me and tapping into some power that was bigger than me that brought this joy out in me to get to where I wanted to go. I always felt I had to spread it to so many people because why was I so fortunate? How did not everybody know about this? How could they not know about this? Like everybody can tap into their sense of being, whatever your belief, whatever your is, this universal love that's out there, peace, love, and joy, which I believe we all innately have. You can tap into it too. So I had to do whatever I could in whatever way. And my middle name really is Joy.
I know it. Isn't that amazing? Those angels.
My mom had a rough time with my mom, but she did give me my middle name, Joy. So
yes, she did. Wow. And you know what? That takes me back, which I want to talk about our title. And the title is Shift Your Mindset in 1 to 3 minutes a day using movement, words, and laughter. I love that. So what inspired you? I know you said it was an innate thing. You danced, you believed in joy, you had Neil beside you, Neil within you, Neil all around you. You have the 5 angels and all of that, which I think is fascinating. So and also, how did you set yourself up for success? Like right now, you're a wellness coach. You got a positive mindset. You shifted. Is that because of Neil and the angels, or because a lot of people are listening probably like, wow, she had a kind of a tough childhood, but her mindset was always positive.
So, all right, well, let's back up a little bit. So,
Okay.
I think it's a combination.
Okay.
I think that I fell on a system that worked for me at a very young age to drown out all the craziness going on in my home. And and people could say, whether you made it up or not, I truly believed I had 5 angels looking out for me. And there was nobody going to talk me out of it. And that I was going to be loved no matter what happened. And there was a way out. Now, I could have been born with that pippy skippy attitude, but all I know is you weren't talking me out of that. There were really bad days and really tough days, but this is what I did. When I say movement, words, and laughter, I did not call it movement, words, and laughter to way, way long ago in life, because I was very fortunate. Another long story, to own and operate health and wellness centers. That's what I did for over 30 years, and meet the most amazing people and coach and train the most amazing people. And everyone was always like, why are you always getting results? And I was like, well, I'm playing with their brains, their mindset. But since I can remember, I would dance around for even a minute. I would and I still do today. So I used movement to take my level up to, a notch, put on my favorite tune. I'd move around, not even for a minute. And then I think one word of how I wanted to show up that day. So as a kid, it was way different. Now I'm like, I'm going to show up and today's going to be fun. And I close my eyes and I move. Or today it's going to be filled with joy or confidence or peace. And then I write the word down. I can remember doing this since the time I was 9. All right. So now I got my word and my movement. And then I'd be silly and I'd make fun of everything and I would laugh. And I did this all the time to see what was right in front of me and to visualize where I wanted to go. Now, I didn't know why. I didn't know the science behind it, and I didn't have to take a leap of faith. I just knew it made me feel better. So imagine you're doing that as a kid in the dark situations. Then I would go, starting at the age of 9, my brother and I would go visit my mom in the mental institutions. Well, all kinds of bad. And they weren't the well-funded ones.
Right. Yeah.
And then I had to figure out a way to change the mood. So I would throw on my tap shoes. I'd go around. I'd tell the people, well, they probably needed it, but I'd say, you don't need that medicine. Just watch me. I'll bring you joy. And I would throw on my tap shoes and dance away until they kicked me out. But I saw at a very young age, in a very extreme setting, how in that little amount of time, I could shift energy and give them hope and me hope. And I know instantly I had to do this somehow my entire life. Now, there was no label for it. I just was doing it. And then years and years later, I'm showing people what I do. Like I go out on my front porch every morning and I do this. I don't know if I can stand up, but I'll do it seated. I go, I am strong now. And I'm dancing. I am love now. I am powerful now. I am filled with joy and abundance. Peace be with you. And I do that standing out my front porch. I do that every single day. And I my word for that day. I do my movement. I look at something like a squirrel that makes me laugh. And that's how I start every single day. And I write down the word. And I remember somebody saying to me, that movement, words, and laughter. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah. And it became movement, words, and laughter. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I was thinking years ago, well, everybody must have their system they do every day before they go out in the world. Then I realized they don't. Sometimes it's hit or miss. So my goal, starting even back when people didn't journal, was to get people to realize it's not complicated and it's not time consuming. It's just every day making an effort, whether it's 1 to 3 minutes a day,
Yeah.
to get in that mindset. And what are you going to do to shift it? You might not be doing that dance out in your front porch.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what are you going to do?
Wow. So listen, do you wake up and journal? Like you just said something about journaling.
Wake up.
Uh-huh.
First, I take a few deep breaths, do a body scan really quickly in a few seconds. Nothing I do is time consuming. I don't even have the power for that. And I think of the word, like I do check where I am. So if I'm really anxious, then I'm going to say my word is calm, because you don't want to go way up here. If I'm feeling good, my word is power or joy. I think about it. I come down the steps. I push the button on the coffee pot, let it brew. I go out my front porch in Philly. I don't care what the weather is. And I do my movement, words, and laughter. And then I come in and I journal every day.
Wow.
And it's not long. Sometimes it's longer than others. It's my power statement, my word, my affirmation, and what I'm grateful for. And then I send love, peace, and joy to people in my family, and then people that I know need it. And then people that are really irritating me. And me and Neil always have conversations about that.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Neil? Okay.
Right.
And I do that every day. Not long. It really doesn't take long. And then the coffee's done. And I go get my coffee.
Wow. Listen, what value do you see in journaling? It sounds like it's valuable to you. What value would you share with my listeners about that journaling?
I'm so glad you asked, Cassandra, because when I first was doing it, it was a rough road. Nobody wanted to do it. And I remember I gathered what I called the powers to be. I gathered all these scientists in my office at my health club in Center City. And I was fortunate enough, I was right near University of Pennsylvania, so I could get all these science. So I had neuroscientists, exercise physiologists, I had nutritionists, I had sports psychologists, I had gurus, I had spiritual leaders, and they helped me come up with creating a journal to see, would it really make a difference in someone's life? If they journaled 5 minutes, it was a prompted journal.
Yeah.
And there was some research saying that you're 40% more likely to reach your goals if you write it down. But we wanted to put it to the test. You know, we really wanted to get it out there. So we spent, after they got done arguing, we came up with a 5-minute journal that would prompt you. Like it was supposed to be prompting you, so you're not just writing it yourself. And I put it out to people. And in 1 year, only one person did it. And I was like devastated, because these were highly motivated people.
Yeah.
And my professor said, well, Sandy, no one's going to spend 5 minutes a day doing something to improve their life unless they already believe it's going to work. I'm like, what? Why didn't you tell me that? Like, you got to find out on your own. And he said, make it 1 minute to 3 minutes and they'll do it. Because now, whether they believe it or not, it's worth the effort. And then what will happen is, once they see it working for 30 days, they'll go into the next and the next and next. And that's why it's 1 to 3 minutes. But there's a couple reasons. One, the one thing it absolutely does do is it keeps you focused on what you're going after. When you see it, when you write it, you reflect upon it, what you're going after, what you want to achieve, you're more likely to go, oh, at the end of the day, oh, I wanted to do this. My word was joy. I wasn't really coming from joy. You're seeing it. So no matter what you think, and you're more likely to 40% if you write it down, to get what you're going after. No matter what, no one can argue that you're writing it down and you're reflecting morning and then the next day. Am I staying focused on what I really want? And then the second thing is, for many, it's also a way to get a lot of their feelings and emotions out. So these are prompt journals that I'm giving, but then a lot of people will journal and write feelings and emotions to get it out of their body, because they're all healthy. You're not joyful all the time. You're angry, you're upset.
Right.
So how are you getting it out? Some people go to therapists, talk to a close friend, hug a tree. Another way to get it out and work through things is to write it down. and get it out of your body. And then in addition, you're more likely to reach your goals because you are writing it down. And there is a body-mind connection when your brain sees you writing it down. And I'm a firm believer in writing it, not typing it.
Okay, writing, not typing. Now, why would you handwrite opposed to typing? What's that about, you think?
You know, I know there's been a lot of studies done on the benefits of handwriting besides typing it, and I don't want to quote it. I could get back to you on that. I remember reading them, the benefits, but I know it is different when you're sitting there in your own handwriting and writing it versus it just seems so cold to me when you're typing it. Think about it.
Yeah.
Even without knowing the research and studies, I know it feels different when I'm handwriting a card versus typing a letter.
Right. Because today's society, we don't handwrite. We don't send cards. Everything's on the computer. Everything's social media. You know, if a thank you card, they'll send a thank you card on the internet. You know,
I have thank you cards. I'm sending 2 more out today. I'm known to handwrite and send cards.
Wow. Yeah.
It means something.
It does. It's so impactful because if I get a handwritten note, I'm like, wow, they thought enough about me to take the time. You know, it's not superficial. You know, it's like, it's not like, okay, they did this. My computer spits it out. You send them a note, spits it out. It's not automatic. It's not automated. It's real, you know? And it makes me think about, I was just sharing with someone else that my therapist asked me one day, did I like myself? And I looked at her, I'm like, huh? She said, it sure took you a long time to figure it out. I'm like, well, I never really. She said, so this is what I want you to do. I want you to write it out. I want you to write out, what is it about you that you like?
Ooh.
No typing, no editing, just write. And man, you know, when I started doing that, it was amazing because, you know, we all think of the negative. We think like, well, I don't know, they say 80,000 thoughts a day and, you know, and 70 to 80% are negative. You know, so when I wrote, I'm like, wow, I do have some great qualities, you know, because we're so busy thinking about the negative. So I don't know the science behind it either, but I know it works for me. And it works for you.
Yeah. And so many people, once they do it, they're like, wow, there is a huge difference. And listen, whatever way you're journaling, it's good. So if it works for you, the electronic, it's better than not. But even just a little bit of writing.
Right. Now, I read somewhere where you help people unlock their potential. How do you do that? Like my listeners, you know, a lot of them are stuck. There's certain things they want to do, but they're not doing it. How do you help people unlock their potential?
Ready to design your dream life? Join Cassandra Crawley Mayo's Create and Design Your Best Life workshop. Break free from self-doubt and obstacles and step into a life of purpose and fulfillment. Click the link in the description to register now. Don't wait. Spaces are limited. Start living your best life today.
So for me, it's a different in how I see them before I meet with them. So for example,
Interesting.
I find out about them. You know, you do like a discovery call, whatever. I find out, you know, why they want to meet with me, for example, you know, what is it that they want to do? And then I really do. I spend some time visualizing them where they want to be. So I hold space for them when they can't hold that space or they're not capable of seeing.
Yeah.
So many people did that for me. They saw something in me before I could see it. We all need that. You know, we all need it. I was going to say at times, but all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, when you say you can't get out of your way to get out, we all have that.
Right.
Just a matter of what degree. And so I'll see them where they want to go. And I hold that space. And I do a lot of my own energy work on visualizing, how am I supposed to help them? Why am I here? Why am I in their life? How am I supposed to serve them? And then when I meet them, it's really not what they're saying. I can feel their energy of where they are, and if they really believe what they're saying, or if they are doubting it. And so from that, I start little bit in working on debunking some of the beliefs that they didn't even know they have about a certain situation.
Okay.
So for example, there's 3 main areas of your life at any given time you want to up level. 3 main areas. It's going to be love, relationships, body, your health, or money, career. Let's just break it out to 3. I like to keep it simple.
What was the third one?
Money, career.
Right. Okay.
So you have love, relationships,
right,
body, health, money, career. And at any given time, there could be all 3, but there's always going to be one you want to up level, right?
Yes. Right.
All right. So no matter who you are, if they pick that area, like what area would you like to start focusing on? The other areas will come along anyhow. When they really think about, like you did that exercise, which I love that your therapist had you do.
Yeah.
If you didn't have negative chatter, I don't even like to say stuck, but taking over for now, you have what you wanted. That's just as simple as it is. So I allow them that space to feel really good about who they are, like not judge it. Like, it's okay. You have these thoughts. They're not good. They're not bad. They're not right or they're not wrong. Are they serving you, Cassandra? And if not, then we want to gradually shift them. And it's got to be gradual, because if you're going to have lasting impact, you have to see success. And then you go, ooh, okay, I can do that. And then the next step, and the next step. And finally, you're resetting and retraining your brain to believe more of the thoughts that serve you well versus the thoughts that don't serve you well. Forget positive, good, bad, ugly, whatever.
Right.
And I know when we say stuck, but I look at it differently. I'm like, okay, right now, there's something in your life that there's too many patterns, the way you've been thinking about it, whether it's something from your life, external or internal, the stories are repeating, and they're repeating so much that you can't get out of your way to be able to see that possibility. But you got to allow them to feel so safe and secure that it's okay that you had these thoughts about yourself. And like you said, I don't know the percentages and they keep changing it, but we do have a lot of negative chatter. And once you admit that and you can see it, and writing it down, I have them write the whole thing, another way, because it's stream of consciousness, and get it out. And then I have them put a big X through it and saying, okay, because now what? And then I shift to, what do you believe? And you do small things. Well, I do believe, okay, I thought I was too old, but you know what? I've done that before. I had so many successes in that. Yeah, I might be older than most people, but I have a lot more wisdom. And I start getting to think about what they do believe until we can get over.
Yeah.
Like, even if you can get over to 51%.
Right.
Believe it or not. You got success.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have them write it, or you all just talk through it?
Oh, I write. We write.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. They go homework assignments. I'm like, I don't want to say that, but they all have journals, whether it's my journal or their journal. Doesn't matter. They're all writing it down. And then I don't do anything that's time consuming, because most of them are very busy people. They have a lot on their plate. And then we talk about it. And there's times they're like, Sandy, true confession, I didn't. Okay, that's okay. But sometimes, they're paying for it, so they want to do it. They want to get the most out of it. And then they write it down, and then we review it. And it's good for them too, because then they can say, oh my, I've They'll be like, why are you making me do this? And I go, you'll see. You're gonna have to just trust me. You'll see.
Okay. So listen, so what role do you believe a positive mindset plays in individuals overcoming those self-imposed barriers? Let me say it again.
Yeah, say it one more time.
Yeah, what role does a positive mindset play in overcoming self-imposed barriers?
Okay. Do you mind if I shift it a little bit?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So let's look at it, because I know I don't want people to feel like you need to be, this is really so important for me that people understand this.
Okay.
Having a powerful mindset means you're coming from peace, love, and joy more than you're coming from thoughts that don't serve you well. Even if you didn't look at like positive and negative.
Mm-hmm.
Innately, your spirit is peace, love, and joy. A powerful mindset is tapping into that more than they're tapping into thoughts and beliefs that don't serve them well.
That's good. Right. Mm-hmm.
And I'm just shifting a little because I can tell you from my clients, and most of them have achieved a lot, but what they don't want, I'll tell you what they say to me all the time. They don't want to one day feel great because they landed that big deal. And then when they don't have that big deal, they don't feel great. Like
right.
banging around like a ping pong. They want to happen to life more. They want to feel that innate peace, love, and joy. They want to show up with it more and not like which we all want, the external situations affect us so much. It will affect us.
Yeah.
So look at it more like you embrace all your emotions. And not even looking at them like positive, negative. They don't serve like anger, frustration. They all serve you well. It's just, what are you going to do with them? It's more about being honest with yourself. Nobody else. You could be your dog, could be your therapist, could be a tree, but you at least have to be honest with yourself about how you really feel about a situation.
Mm-hmm.
Once you're really honest about yourself, about what you feel, then you can shift it to thoughts that will serve you well, because then you're going to be like, okay, it's not bad that I'm angry. I feel hatred. I feel jealousy, but is that going to get me where I want to go? No.
Right.
So I'm going to allow myself not to get stuck in there so that I can shift out of those emotions quicker. So there aren't those barriers for me to get where I want to go. But I think the thing is, I want people to realize they don't have to push those emotions down, because I do find with a lot of people that really want to serve and are really good people, the thing that trips them up, they push those emotions down because they think, I shouldn't feel them. I shouldn't be angry. I shouldn't be jealous. I shouldn't feel hate. Well, you're not a robot. You know, we are human beings.
That's right.
And it's okay to feel that way. But the more that you're honest with yourself, at least, on what you're feeling, you are going to break down those walls and barriers, because you will get them out in a healthy way. For me, I journal.
Mm-hmm.
I talk to Neil.
Yeah.
I talk to my dog.
Uh-huh.
And I talk to trees. I go out, me and trees, and we have great conversations. And that gets it all out of my system. So I go through it quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Even my husband or son will know when I'm out in the porch, like, oh no, she's talking to Neil.
Right.
And sometimes we argue. Are you sure? But it's and I get it out of my body, because your body does keep score, so that you're breaking down those walls, you're breaking down those barriers, so that you can then have more of that innate peace, love, and joy, which is where your power really is. I hope that answers your question.
I love that. That's awesome. I love that. I like your shift.
Yeah.
You know, you put it differently, what makes sense, because life isn't fair. I mean, you know, I remember younger days, I used to think, well, I know God. I don't understand why I'm going through this. You know, and then I found, oh, he's beating me up. I didn't have a name. I just said, God, he's beating me up because I did this sin yesterday. You know, so I go through all.
That's a lot of guilt, woman.
Yeah, that's right. And I was like, right. So, you know, what you said, I liked, and I just talked to somebody. They said, when you resist it, it persists. You know, you suppress it, it's going to keep going. You suppress it, like you said.
Absolutely.
Acknowledge it. I love that.
Yeah.
So, and to sustain it, motivation and wellness, you have to keep doing it? You have to continue to practice it?
Well, look at it every day. I'm a gardener, and if I wait to pick my weeds, it's going to be overwhelming, right? It's going to take me forever. But if I go out every day, a little bit, I pick the weeds, the flowers can grow, right? And I don't strangle my flowers. So every day you do a little, just a few minutes, like even in the morning, you just want to set yourself up for the day because it'll feel better. No matter how bad the day is, even if it's a crappy day and crappy things happen, and you're right, it's still, you won't stay there as long, right? You just won't, because you have this practice in place. You don't have to do mine, but you have something to get you in that more powerful mindset that aligns you with your peace, love, and joy. And just that little bit every day, and being aware of what you really feel and what your emotions are, it'll help you so that you won't explode. You know what I mean? And have some of those volcanic days, not that they won't happen, because they will, but they'll happen less. And again, I'm not asking for anything that's time consuming, because I think it's more time consuming to spin around. How about those thoughts that you spin out of control? You get a thought, another thought, get another thought. You get nothing done. You're spiraling. Next thing you know, you're spiraling out. So, oh my God, she hates me, blah, blah, blah. Jen can't do it. I can't believe she didn't call me. Why didn't you call me? Blah, 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 blah. Find out she's on a 2-day retreat. You know what I mean? Like, there's all these things. So that spin our head out of control. Wouldn't you want to just gradually train your head to think more of a thought that's going to serve you well? No downside to it.
That's right. And listen, as you talk about this, and one thing I always say, these are things you can't do by yourself, because a lot of individuals don't want to put their dirty laundry out. But if you want the help, because we all need it, like, oh, I can do this. I don't need the journal. I can think my way. I can positive think, blah, blah, blah. But we're not here to be alone. And you get somebody to help you. If it's a therapist, if it's a coach, is it yourself? Is it me? Somebody out there, because you can't do it alone. And that's
But you say, I get you don't have to put it all over social media, that's for sure. But find somebody you trust. And there's so many different people out there that you're going to find somebody you trust. Some people have that best friend or their husband, but most people, it's an and. They need somebody in addition to that. Having any skin in the game. By the way, most therapists, to keep their license, have to go to therapists. A lot of them. Because we all need someone.
I'm sure.
Everybody needs someone, whatever it is, coach, minister, I don't care what it is.
Right. I like that. You are so correct. I want to change a little bit. Well, let me ask you this. What personal growth have you seen in a client? Like, just think of two of them, and what, this was then, this is now, based on your practice and you coaching them. What personal growth have you seen as a result of all that you've talked about?
Well, I'll keep their names anonymous, but the personal growth that I've seen is even in one of my clients who has a difficult home situation, and they're under a lot of stress with some special needs children. And it's a very challenging situation, and both parents work full time and they have aides, but still in all, it can be a really, like, to even walk in the house, you could be like, oh my God, how they do that. And these two people, especially the one I've been working with for a few years, was able to see that she could get stronger and stronger on how she showed up with joy or peace or love, so that even though the child wasn't changing, she could change the situation and change how the encounter was. It wasn't going to be totally gone. Of course, there are going to be trying days, but at least bring more what she wanted, more joy in the home.
Right.
And through her daily practices of what she does every morning And she also works out to keep herself mentally and physically healthy and spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the transformation and how she was able to flip that whole house from a really tough situation.
Yeah.
Because she did the work within her. And I've seen that with some of my male clients too, where they're like, I'm never going to be able to switch this work environment. It's too toxic. And my boss is this way, the owner, and it's the CEO of the company, and I can't convince him. I'm like, I don't want to change him.
Yes.
I don't want to change him. We're going to change the way you show up. And that is going to change the way they encounter. And most people are like, whatever. But then I see it and they see it. I'm like, they didn't change. What's
right.
You changed.
Wow.
And here's the deal. Good, bad, or ugly. The most powerful energy wins, right? So if negative energy is higher, it's going to win. And if it's positive, it's going to win. Whatever energy is going to win. So when you take the time, which I do, when I go into a difficult situation, I spend more time preparing to show up with pure joy in that situation because I know what I'm going into so that the energy can come up.
Right.
And I'm not going down with their
Exactly. Wow. That's good. That's good. I want to change up a little bit. There are two things that I want to know about. I want you to tell us about the Philly Street Line.
Okay.
That sounds very entertaining.
It was. So, oh my gosh, that was so fun. So I think it was a while, like in 2001, Philly was voted the fattest city in the country.
Right.
At the time, I had a health club down at 19th and Market, right like a few blocks from City Hall. And I thought, well, here I am owning this health club. I got to do something. I have to do something. So I tried to get a meeting with the mayor. I couldn't get a mayor with the mayor. And then he brought in a fitness czar, the wonderful Gwen Foster, who was in health education. And I tried to get a meeting for months with them because I thought, I really want to help the city. Yeah. I thought, I really want to make a difference. Not that what they weren't doing was impactful, but I had it to you. So finally, after like 3 months, I got a meeting with Gwen Foster, who was then their fitness czar, who was going to help with the situation. And we're sitting around with all these people, Cassandra, and I can still remember it to the day. I didn't have an idea. I didn't know what, but they were sitting and all of a sudden I popped up. I go, I know what'll work. And she's like, Miss Weston, the city needs a line dance. And she goes, what? I go, yeah, we love to dance. We need a line dance. And think about it. You want people to move.
Right.
All these initiatives and all these emails, it's not going to do it, but they want to laugh. They want to smile. They want to enjoy moving. We can have kids doing it. We can have seniors doing it. You can have people in the hospital. Like there's a way I can create the dance. They're never going to do it. So she's like, okay, do you have a dance? And I'm like, not yet, but give me a week. Philly Street Line dance. Well, Cassandra, what happened next? I had no clue. This dance took off. They even had Leon Huff create music and a song for the Philly, like do the line dance. And I called it line dance after Mayor Street, Philly Street Line Dance. And I was teaching it in schools. The kids were popping and locking it. We had people doing it in hospitals. We had people doing it in senior centers. It was all over. We were doing it on the art museum, you name it, we were doing it. I closed down Market Street and we had firemen doing it on top of it. This line dance, so simple. I mean, it was just something like that came from Joy.
Yeah.
But it brought the city together. They realized everybody can move at some, and I put, some boxing in it, of course, for Rocky and everything. And then what took off is that, oh my God, a dream come true. Here I am at 40 years old. I taught the line dance, which they took up a notch, to the 76 dance team. And I performed it with the 76 dance team when I was 40 years old. No one could believe it. There I am, 40-year-old out there doing this. with this.
Right.
And I almost missed my cue because I was like, oh my God, 24,000 people. Hi.
I know. Oh my gosh.
It was great.
I wanted you to talk about that because then the last thing I want to talk about is Prop Up Tuesday.
Okay.
And the reason I do, because there are individuals on listening, and we're talking about joy, peace, and love. And there's so much negativity, in our workplace. Everybody's so serious and straight and everything. Yeah. And I'm hopeful that the ideas that you talk about, and I can say this because I used to, be a manager and all of that kind of stuff. And I had no shame in going into work and say, okay, guys, let's do a line dance. And I'm like, Cassandra is really crazy. So just to bring some positivity in it. And also we're talking about to overcome some obstacles that we're having to kind of loosen up. So that's why I'm asking you to share that. And then the last thing is Prop Up Tuesday. Maybe somewhere in the workplace, or you have a supervisor that has a team, they can do Prop Up Wednesday. Tell us about that.
Okay. First of all, I have seen I went down, even this mayor, I went and met one of her team members, and she was having people start their mornings off with a dance.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so fun to see that because just that little thing, think about one little thing. I mean, we're not talking you have to break out in a whole entire dance, but just for movement, it brings the office together and it puts a smile on their face and you're starting the day in a different way. Now, Prop Up Tuesday, I just started Prop Up Tuesday just 2 weeks ago. I woke up at 3 a.m. I got this vision. I wanted to connect people. My word of the year is an abundant mindset. When you share with others, it comes back to you. There's enough for everyone. And so with this, I decided on LinkedIn every Tuesday, here it is. I picked a name out of this jar for somebody who somebody nominated. So if you wanted to, even for Prop Up Tuesday, they put a name in, sometimes they tag them, and I put the name in this jar. Like today, I picked a name out, and it was so amazing because I get so excited because I don't know who I'm picking. And then I put them on LinkedIn and I say, make sure you give this person love all week long. And it's neat to see how the people are tagging all these different people on LinkedIn. And even if they don't I don't pick their name out, they still feel great being nominated. And you can do that in your office, the same thing. Like just, even if you could either put names in a hat and know what makes that person special. It doesn't have to be even the employee of the month. You could have everybody's name in it. And when you pick it out, you know what makes that person an amazing human.
Right.
It can Prop Up Friday, Prop Up Tuesday, anything. And what I love about it is you're highlighting what makes that person so cool, amazing, and unique.
That's right. I love that. Wow.
Prop them up.
I know, prop them up. And some people may think this is so silly, but we need that. I mean, we need some energy, some excitement, some joy, so that's why I wanted you to talk about the line dancing and the Prop Up Tuesday. And I thank you for that.
Kids, the joy in a child. Think about it. I mean, the way they smile and laugh. Okay, we're not going to be as carefree because we know a little too much, but the more you can be childlike, I'm all about it. That doesn't mean you're not a brilliant business person. They're two separate things.
Exactly.
I remember one of my mentors, Ed Snyder, who owned the Flyer, said to me, Sandy, your best weapon is going to be, you're going to be underestimated. I'm like, why am I going to be underestimated? Because you're too joyful. Your way to be happy and smile, no one's going to think you're a serious businesswoman. I go, that doesn't even make sense, because it does, because you would have to be like your face. Yeah. And that's what makes you brilliant. I'm like, well, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. But he was right. I would get in so many doors because people didn't see me coming because I was just too happy and joyful.
And then look, and some of them didn't want to see, like, she's too happy for me. I don't want to see her right now.
So I always say, joy is my competitive edge.
That's right. That's right. A competitive advantage. Wow. Sandy, how can my listeners get in touch with you?
Very easy. Everything is Sandy Joy Weston, Weston. You can go to my website and fill out the forms there. I'm on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. Sandy Joy Weston, MED, Master's in Education. Some people think I'm a doctor. I'm like, not a doctor.
Master's in Education. Yeah. Okay. Well, I just want to thank you for being a guest on my show. This was what I thought it was going to be, very energized, and I'm certain we energized individuals, and we have some school teachers on here that may start line dancing and pop up on Monday morning. That would be great because
that would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be. So listen, my listeners, I know that something said in this podcast has resonated with you, and I ask that you share it. And it's also going to be on all podcast platforms, but please share this. And when you do, I'd like for you to click subscribe, like, and that would be so appreciative. And let's spread the joy and the peace and the love to individuals, because what you put out there, you'll get it back. And again, Sandy Joy Weston, thank you so much. I appreciate you and all my listeners. Like I always say, bye for now and God bless you.
Hey, thanks for listening. If you've been enjoying our empowering conversations, make sure you don't miss out on future episodes of Is Your Way in Your Way podcast. Stay in the loop with all the latest episodes. Join our mailing list over at CassandraCrawley.com. And before you go, hit that like button, share with your friends, and subscribe now. Until next time, let's get ready to live your best life.